Breaking right now, Thomas Markle Jr. has lashed out at his sister in the most brutal interview he has ever given.
Royal family, you should be so thankful this woman wanted to leave, because she's not going to bring any good to the branding of royal. She's going to downgrade it to a level of ghetto, and that's what it is. This is just bad.
One year ago, in a hospital bed on the far side of the world, Thomas Markle lost his leg. His daughter did not come. There was no phone call, no flight, no face at that bedside. She sent a letter, days late, and went straight back to her cameras.
Now, after this point, when you've had 7 years knowing my father's phone number, it hasn't changed for 15 years. It's the same phone number. You have not reached out. You have not texted. You have not called.
That is the woman the whole world calls kind, the queen of kindness itself, the great humanitarian who lectures you about love and empathy from a Netflix sofa inside a 9-bedroom mansion. And that right there is what she does to the man who raised her the second those cameras switch off.
Someday Meghan's gonna realize that she's obviously missing out on a really good, tight-knit family. I mean, we're all still together all the time, no matter what. And you can't put a price on that.
Here is the truth straight, with no soft edges on it. Meghan Markle built a fortune selling you a warmth she does not own. And the father who gave that woman everything is dying. At the end of a phone line she stopped answering 7 years back.
In my opinion, she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
So stay with me. I'm going to show you what this woman does. Not just what she says, and I am going to do it one cold act at a time, chapter by chapter. By the end, you will never look at that gentle little smile the same way again.
People of this evil bullshit caliber do not have a place on this world.
Now look at the image first. You have to see the halo before you can grasp how dark things really get behind it. Meghan Markle sells herself as the kindest soul on earth. Compassion is the entire brand. She talks about empathy, about lifting people up, about being there for anybody who hurts.
I made one dumb mistake, and I'm never being forgiven for it. And this show that they're on, they talk about compassion. There's no compassion for me. There's no compassion for my family. And there's no compassion for the royals.
At the United Nations, she stood and preached it. She built a whole lifestyle empire out of candles and soft words and gentle little smiles. Every photo, every speech, every show says the same thing to you. I am good, I am gentle. Nobody on this earth cares quite as much as I do.
If you think about it, Meghan got everything she wanted. She got the husband, she got the children, she got the HRA, she got everything that allowed her to rise up and have that global recognition that we know how badly she wanted that.
She flies around the globe to comfort strangers whenever a camera is rolling. She fronts the causes, writes the books about kindness, lands the magazine covers about her big, caring heart. That is Little Miss Kindness, the saint the public thinks it knows.
It's no mystery that Meghan pays people to go after anybody who says anything bad about her. One day, all the Sussex squad will be wiped off the face of the f***ing planet, period, along with Meghan.
Now keep that pretty picture in your head and watch what she does with the people who share her own blood. See, a saint is an easy part to play for strangers. Strangers never get backstage. Family does. And every last member of hers keeps saying the very same thing about the woman behind the halo. The warmth is a costume. Underneath it sits somebody cold enough to leave her own father to rot in a hospital bed.
Stop sending your government officials in to the hospital in the Philippines. Pick up your goddamn mobile phone. Call Caroline Graham. You know her number. Pass the mobile phone over to Thomas Markle. Have a conversation. Anything less than that proves that you're not a human being, which is something that we've known for a long time.
For many months, he couldn't talk, and even now, speaking is still difficult. But he'd give anything for a conversation with his daughter, Meghan.
I wish we could sit down and talk. I wish we could work out the differences. Meghan, she loved me. I'm a hero. And suddenly I was thrown out.
Now, this coldness did not start last winter. It started at the wedding, the very day the fairy tale began. Just days before Meghan married her prince, her father had a heart attack. He was rushed to a hospital bed, too sick to fly, too sick to walk her down any aisle. A loving daughter cancels. A loving daughter picks up a phone and says, "Dad, get well, the wedding can wait." That is not what Meghan did. She went ahead. She married into the most famous family on the planet, in front of billions, and had a prince walk her down that aisle in her own father's place, as if the man had never mattered a jot.
Like any proud parent, his home is littered with photos of his beloved children.
For the longest time, she wanted to be a dancer.
Each image is a heartbreaking reminder of happier times.
These guys can tell you how close we were, Meg and I, and I certainly spent a lot of my life with her. I don't know how she can throw all of it away.
The last time she ever spoke to him was over that hospital bed. He hung up hurt, and she let 7 years of silence do the rest. The messages Harry sent in those final days read like a man watching a car roll toward a cliff. "Please pick up. We only need to speak to you." None of it moved her, not by a single inch. Think about the message in that. Her father is lying in a cardiac ward, and her answer is to carry on with the party and write him out on the very same afternoon. No delay, no visit, no second thought. Just a wedding that rolled straight over the top of a sick old man. Honestly, who does that to the father who raised them? A woman who had already decided her own dad was in the way of the story she wanted to sell.
But I have to just say, anyone who has doubted me over the past decade about this evil woman now needs to eat some humble pie.
I remember when she was born, big new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
Thomas Jr. was 14 when Meghan came into the world.
During the Oprah interview, when Meghan said she had no siblings, when she told the world she was an only child, I mean, were you disappointed?
No, I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie, click.
Start with who that father really is. Forget him, and the whole fairy tale falls apart. Thomas Markle is no stranger off the street. He raised her, a 2-time Emmy winner who worked the lights on American television for a living. He spent his own money on her schooling, her acting lessons, every audition that carried her out of nowhere and up into Hollywood.
August 4th, 40 years ago, Meghan was born, and she was born as a C-section, so she was put in my arm. I was the first person to hold her. Her little hand went on my fingers like that, and I fell in love with her, and I had been that way for 40 years.
On the day she came into the world, his were the first hands she ever felt. He gave that girl every single thing he had. And here's the reward he got back: a phone number that went dead, notes left at a door, every last one ignored, 2 grandchildren he has been forbidden from meeting, not once in 7 years, then a stroke that stole his voice, so the poor man had to learn to speak all over again, just to keep on begging for a daughter who will not pick up.
It's really a little bit disturbing, saying that, she doesn't have a family, she doesn't have a father. It's just ridiculous.
Picture how that feels for a second. He put it better than I ever could. A man locked in a prison cell gets more love than the father of a duchess. Meghan has made her own dad lonelier than a stranger behind bars. His entire crime was one mistake. He posed for a few photos, said sorry 100 times over, and got handed a lifetime in exile for it.
Got it, but I didn't do this for money. I did this to change my image. For 1 whole year, I was presented as a hermit living and hiding out in Mexico. I was looking to change my image, and obviously that was a mistake. It went wrong.
You couldn't make it up. This, remember, is the woman telling the rest of us to be kinder to one another, and do not let anyone sell you the line that this is about money. He has never asked that daughter for a penny. He wants none of her fortune and says so plainly that he lives simple and always has. All the old man is after is a phone call and the chance to meet 2 grandchildren before his time is up.
Do you still love your daughter?
Of course I do. I love my children. I love my other daughter. I love my son. Of course I love them.
She has the private jets, the mansion, and the millions to make that happen in a single afternoon. She just will not do it. He counts their birthdays from a distance, sends flowers that come home unanswered, and faces another Father's Day on his own every single year.
There's a lot that's been lost already, and I grieve a lot. I mean, I've lost my father.
I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family.
Now, here is where one sad story turns into a cold, hard pattern. It is not only her own dad she treats this way. Look at Harry's father, the king, an old man who threw open the doors of the most famous family on earth for Meghan, handed her a title, made her a duchess overnight. When Thomas was too sick to attend that wedding, it was the king himself, then a prince, who stepped in and walked her down the aisle. That same man later fell ill and was treated for cancer. And these two, the great humanitarians, the compassion couple, could not bring themselves to sit at his side either.
He's trying to get back in with the king because he knows he'll never be able to get back in with William. That's never gonna happen. So once that door is closed and unfortunately the king passes, I don't think there's any chance of him getting back into the fold.
Harry dropped in for a single flying visit and flew straight back out. Meghan never came at all. So count them up with me. Her own father is dying and she shuts him out. Her father-in-law falls sick and he gets the same cold shoulder.
I knew Meghan for a bit before she met Harry. Did exactly the same to me, you know. She did that to many people that she knew, that she'd either worked with or was friends with or whatever. It just seems to me she's what I would call a ruthless social climber, who just when people are no longer appropriate parts of her circle, they have to be expunged quickly so she can move on up the ladder.
Absolutely.
Two old men who handed this couple every advantage they own, left to face the worst days of their lives alone. So Meghan never has to pause the brand for one afternoon. A humanitarian who cannot spare a weekend for a dying parent is a fake in a nice frock, mind you. She only ever does compassion when a photographer is stood there to film it. Two sick old fathers. And between them, this couple could not manage a single hospital visit. She made the same cold choice twice over.
You're a lying scumbag piece of shit who doesn't deserve anything except for what you're getting right now in the press. And I will protect my dad with my life.
Do you have any advice for Harry?
Yeah, stop talking about the royals. Stop giving away all the secrets about the royals. And, love your children and love your wife. But also love your grandmother and love your father.
Now watch the biggest lie of the whole lot, once you know where to look for it. When her father slipped, Harry and Meghan went to war over privacy. They cried invasion. Privacy, they said, was sacred, the one thing on this earth worth guarding. They sued. They dragged a newspaper through years of court over one private letter and called it a fight for their family. Their pain, they told the world, was nobody's business but their own.
This is a man who pines on about how unsafe he feels and how he needs the British taxpayer to pay for his security, but is very happy to reveal about his 25 Taliban killings in his book that he got a book deal for, and then very happy to jet over to Ukraine. So this is a man who clearly doesn't care about his safety. It's just about his victim complex.
There is a rich little detail folded into that, mind you. It was Meghan's own camp that pushed her side of that letter out to a magazine first, through a handful of friends. Her father only answered back after that. So she threw the opening punch at her own privacy, then played the wounded victim the moment he dared to answer back. And here is the richest part of the whole thing. This is a couple who scream about press intrusion, who cannot stand a photographer within a mile of them, and who then stage their own pictures and chase the very cameras they claim to hate the second it suits the brand.
They wheeled children out of their hospital rooms to be there, and then they put a rope around it that was only removed for pictures. But when they were not being pictured with Harry and Meghan Markle, their rope was there. I have never seen anything like that. I've been around, even the Queen did not have ropes. People were just normally standing there, but no. Harry and Meghan demanded that the rope be put there so there would be a distance between the princess, because that's another thing that you don't know about. Meghan Markle demanded to be called Princess Meghan during the entire trip. Not even Duchess of Sussex, but Her Royal Highness Princess Meghan Markle.
Cameras are the enemy when they turn up an ugly truth. Cameras are the best friends in the world when they help sell a pretty lie. Then look at what these two did next. They sat down with Netflix and sold every private moment they could squeeze for cash. The royal family's secrets went into a memoir, millions of copies shipped around the globe. They took the most private corners of their own life and turned each one into a paycheck. And the children they swear they are shielding from the world get wheeled out in a glossy trailer the moment the brand wants a warm little image.
She also said she wasn't going to serve her children to the media on a silver platter, specifically Archie. But now we have her serving her children on a silver platter to the same social media companies that she goes around campaigning against for, I guess, that dopamine hit. I am also imagine she is paid per post as an Instagram influencer. I do believe she's probably in that program, so that would be an incentive for her.
So here's Meghan's real rule. Privacy is holy when her father breathes a word. Privacy is for sale when she needs the money. That is not a principle, that is a weapon, and it only ever points one way. The cheek of it takes your breath clean away.
He was turning 80 years old, very much struggling in terms of his health. He had a stroke which took away his ability to speak. And despite the fact that his daughter and his son-in-law, Prince Harry, are two of the richest, most privileged people in the world, they are not paying a single thing to help him, not providing a dime towards his medical care.
Now, a cruel daughter is one thing. A daughter who lies about it to the entire world is something far worse. Meghan did not simply walk away from her family, she erased them. She sat on a television sofa in front of the whole planet and said she grew up as good as an only child. An only child. This is a woman with a living father who raised her, a half-sister, a half-brother, a whole family carrying her face in their photo albums. She wiped the lot of them off the page like a typo, so she could sell the world a cleaner, sadder, far more marketable version of Meghan. And that humble little origin tale of hers is a costume as well.
Do you think your sister, Meghan Markle, has ruined Prince Harry?
The answer is yes. I mean, every single interview, every single picture, every place they go, Meghan grabs him. Meghan controls him. Meghan tells him no. Meghan stands in front of him. She controls every single situation like she is the star. And she's turned Prince Harry into a man of non-substance, for her own well-being.
The rags to riches girl who supposedly came from nothing was raised by a working father who paid for private schooling and every acting class she ever sat in. She did not claw her way up alone. She was carried, then she cut the man who carried her clean out of the picture. And it was not only him she cut loose. One by one, the whole family went the same way, until the woman who lectures the planet about connection had walled herself off from nearly every soul who knew her before the crown. Her own sister put it plain, take that father away, and there is no Duchess. No Netflix, no palace, no fairy tale, none of it. Just a woman who used her whole family up, wiped the receipts, and dared the planet to keep calling her humble. Good grief. The audacity of it. Make of that what you will.
They can all go suck and flying monkeys also. But how disgusting and pathetic my father's daughter is, because the entire world knows that she is at the bottom of the barrel for God knows how long, because everybody knows who she is as a person.
By now, her defenders are all shouting the same line. She reached out, she sent a letter. See, she does care after all. So let us look hard at that famous letter. Her father was lying in a hospital bed with one leg coming off him. Meghan's grand answer was a note. No flight, no phone call, no face at the bedside, just a note, hand-delivered, and only after a reporter was already camped outside that hospital, and only after she had let the better part of a week slide past first.
Is that you get your ass on a private jet, you get to that hospital, and you take your father back on that private jet so that he gets the best possible treatment. Stop sending in your government goons to do your dirty work. You go yourself. The embassy doesn't have to have anything to do with this.
This, from a woman who had already wiped her own father's number from her phone, as though he were a stranger she once met at a party. How convenient that the caring switched itself on the very instant a camera turned up to record it, and picture the split screen the whole world got to see.
You're not getting any younger. Do you worry that you might never meet these two grandchildren?
July 18th, I'll be 77 years old. Most of the Markle men don't make it much past 80. So there's a good chance I might never see my grandchildren. I'm not looking for pity. I'm just saying that's a reality.
On the one side, Meghan, wrapped in 10,000-pound gowns, filming a cozy Christmas special about her lovely, gentle life. On the other, her father, 81 years old, losing a limb in a hospital ward on the far side of the world. That letter was never love. It was insurance, a thing to point back at later, so she could tell everyone she tried. Even her kindness, once you finally corner it, turns out to be one more show for the lens.
If I had done something terribly wrong, that would be fine, but I haven't. So I just want an answer. I don't like to say it, but I gotta say it. I don't know of anybody that cold to do this.
Now you might tell yourself a bitter old dad could dream anything up. So do not take it from him on his own. Take it from every one of them saying the same thing out of 3 separate rooms. Her father does not soften his verdict on the marriage for a second. He looked down a camera and called the prince she married a total failure of a husband. He called a grown royal a boy who cannot think for himself, and called his own girl, a woman who runs every room she steps into. Her sister goes harder and does not blink once doing it. Her brother sings the same tune, that this is a woman who grabs the prince, steers him, and drops anyone who cannot lift her higher up the ladder.
I'll be very disappointed that I don't get to hold my granddaughter.
Does it hurt?
Of course it hurts. There are axe murderers in prison. Their family comes to see them, right? I mean, I'm not an axe murderer.
He keeps a running count as well, the kind that ought to shame any daughter alive. Not one call, not one text in 6 years, through 2 heart attacks and a stroke. His message to the prince she married held no mercy at all. 3 people who knew Meghan long before the world had heard her name, all pointing dead at the exact same cold street. They cannot all be making it up, and the outsiders who study her closest reach for the cruelest word of the lot. Funny that, how the halo only ever slips the moment the people who really know her start to talk. So here's the real secret, the one worth more than any made-up hospital tale ever was. The kindest woman in the world is a fake. The compassion is a costume, one she pulls on for strangers and peels straight off for her own blood. She will fly clear across the planet to hug people she has never met for a photograph. But her own father, 1 hospital car park away, not a chance. And all along, she lectures you and me about love, as 2 old men who welcomed her into their lives sit sick and alone, waiting on a call that never comes. That is who Meghan Markle is once the cameras cut. Cold clean through. A woman who used her family to climb, deleted them the second they were spent, and still has the nerve to sell the world her kindness by the candle. Every brand she builds, every cause she fronts, every soft, focused chat about healing and empathy, it all rides on one simple gamble, that you will watch the performance and never once check on the people she left behind. Well, tonight we checked, and her own father with 1 leg gone and a dead phone line is all the proof a person needs of who she really is. And here's the part that really guts you. He is still waiting for her. 1 leg gone, 81 years old, and he would take her call tomorrow if it ever came. An old man holding the line open for the daughter who hung up on him for good. If you ask me, that is the only reveal that ever mattered here. The nicest woman on earth turned out to be the coldest daughter alive. So tell me down in the comments. Does Thomas Markle deserve that 1 phone call before it is too late? Or has his daughter buried him for good already? Drop your verdict. I read every single one. And hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who care about these stories. Subscribe as well. There is a lot more coming this week. The next one gets right into the letter that started this whole war. Who really leaked what? And how Meghan turned her own dad into the villain to save her own name. You will want to be here for it.